Société Générale, one of the largest European financial services groups, reports full-year results for 2020. Frédéric Oudéa, hello.
Hello.
You're the CEO of Société Générale. How did Société Générale perform this fourth quarter and more generally in 2020, marked by the health and economic crisis?
Obviously an extraordinary year for all of us. In the fourth quarter, first, there is the confirmation of the rebound of the performances of our businesses. All our businesses, but in particular, the improvement of the performances of our capital market activities, which were impacted in the first half. So we saw, for example, revenues growing compared with the third quarter of 2020. We maintained a very strong discipline in terms of the management of our costs. And we have also the confirmation of the quality of our credit portfolio. Of course, something very important in this crisis, with a cost of risk which is under control, despite a prudent provisioning. Now, if I step back and beyond effectively the profit of the fourth quarter, when I look at the full year, it's a very contrasted year. First of all, of course, a year of intense commitment towards our client and the capacity to accompany our clients in this crisis. From a financial and commercial perspective, two halves. A first half with, of course, the impact of the lockdowns, the generalized lockdowns and the dislocations of the market. And then for Société Générale, a second half, which illustrated the normalization of our activities, the capacity to adapt, a very different second half. Overall, when I look at the results, I can see also the benefit of a disciplined management of our cost, of our risk, and of our capital, because we end the year with a very high level of capital ratio. It's very important for the future. You know, it's our safety net, but it's also the way to finance our development. We have a very high Core Tier 1, which is allowing also us to pay a dividend. You know, the supervisors have said to European banks, you can resume the payment of dividend. Thanks to that and the quality of our balance sheet, we are happy to resume the payment of the dividend. It's also something important in terms of the confidence that we send to our investors. So all in all, very intense, challenging year, but again, a second half which was better than the first one.
Focusing on the group's various business lines now, what were the key trends in 2020?
Well, first, let's start with the French retail. Not so much change compared with what we saw in the third quarter, for example, normalization of the activity. Of course, erosion of the interest margin related to low rates, negative rates even. And again, overall, good management of the risk. In international retail, the situation is better because we do not face negative rates. Nevertheless, we saw rates going down. And so we have also an erosion of the margin in certain countries. But overall, the growth dynamics are better and the commercial activity was pretty good across the board. Regarding financial services, very strong performance, I must say, at the end of this year. Even better than last year, for example, for the fleet management business. So it's something very promising for 2021. And again, regarding our wholesale activity, very strong performance for the financing and advisory businesses, much better than last year. And as I've said, for our capital markets, a second quarter of normalization of revenues. So it's still work in progress, but it's also encouraging for 2021. So overall, as you can see, again, as I've said, across the board, improvement in the second half compared with the first half.
Beyond this year's results, you've launched a certain number of strategic initiatives. Could you tell us more about them?
Yes, indeed. You know, this crisis, I'm not sure that it changes the world, but it is accelerating certain structural trends. And I would like to highlight in particular the importance of corporate and social responsibility, the expectations around that, and of course, the usage of digital technology. If we start with corporate and social responsibility, of course, it's around how to accompany the clients in this crisis. It is how to restructure, to build the new business models, to accompany our own staff and train, for example, for new businesses. And of course, it's around the climate transition. And in 2020, we took very important initiatives to reduce, for example, our footprint in the fossil energy portfolio, credit portfolio, as well as pursuing, of course, the development of the financing of the renewables. And all these efforts were acknowledged by all the rating agencies which are specialized in CSR. And then the second thing is, of course, digital technology. We have all used during these lockdowns more digital channels for different usage, but in particular for the banking services. And I think it's very important to speed up the process of transforming our business models. Beyond this, we have announced also very specific new initiatives regarding certain businesses, very structural ones. For example, the combination of our two French networks, Société Générale and Crédit du Nord, to build a new bank which will provide better service to our clients, increase the level of satisfaction, as well as accelerate the development of Boursorama, which is the leading French online bank and which, of course, is a business model validated by 2020. But I could add, for example, the acceleration of the development of our fleet management business, car fleet management business. Mobility services are also changing in this world, as well as, for example, the ambitious development of our Czech Republic subsidiary, which again has strong growth potential. So as you can see, a lot of different initiatives to build the future.
Finally, as uncertainties continue to strongly impact economies, what are your priorities for 2021?
Well, of course, I remain realistic. The level of uncertainty remains strong regarding the health and economic environment. And at the same time, we engage in 2021 with determination and confidence that it will be a year of rebound for Société Générale. The priority is to execute well our strategic roadmap. I've just described a series of initiatives. We want to, of course, execute, do the first milestones efficiently. It's true for certain specific businesses, as well, of course, to do more in CSR, complete the roadmap in terms of the climate change, for example, as well as, of course, accelerate the digital transformations. All in all, we will also complete the strategic direction for 2025. We have, in particular, regarding the wholesale business, to explain where we want to go there. We will do that in the first half on the back of, again, a lot of transformation which are taking place. And all in all, I look at 2021, as I said, as a year of demonstration of the quality of the franchise of the bank and a year of completion of our strategic roadmap.
Frédéric Oudéa, thank you very much.
You're welcome.